3 outfits and 1 fragrance. Let's see how much we can squeeze out of Mancera Cedrat Boise. Welcome back, it's Patrick with the Scent Booth, and I do want to just start a new series on the channel. You know, I do really love how fragrance kind of combines with fashion, if you want it to, of course. You know, there's varying levels of depth, but for the people out there who are curious and, you know, maybe want some fashion inspiration, I want to be here and, you know, see if I can incorporate some of my styles into these videos, you know, just maybe give you some more insight on what you could try. Really, the emphasis is for you to enjoy the wardrobe you have. You know, of course, you know, if you want to expand that wardrobe, by no means is that an issue. But really, I want you to feel like you don't have to go out and buy more stuff. You don't have to, you know, feel like while you're stepping out of your comfort zone that you're having to build wardrobes and, you know, spend more money. You should be able to use what you have and, you know, just build from there. See how much you like the process. If you really like it, yeah, dive deeper in, maybe buy some pieces. But again, you know, the emphasis is to kind of reuse pieces and find stuff that is very versatile, that works with other pieces nicely. So that's really what I'm going to focus on today. And of course, you know, everything's going to be revolving around Cedrat Boise as well. Pretty versatile fragrance in general, but I want to give varying levels of like detail or, you know, different styles of color blocking, more casual, less casual. Yeah, again, this is just the first episode of this series, so it's kind of new for me. And I'm sure as I do it more, it'll get better. It'll be more refined. And yeah, my goal is just to help more people out there who want a little more inspo. So let's get to the first outfit. Perfect. So for the first look, we're doing a little more like elevated streetwear style, kind of emphasizing different, you know, texture changes or material changes. So the bomber jacket is going to be more of that texture of a, you know, silky finish, you know, maybe a graphic tee or even a plain tee. Honestly, I wear plain tees more, but I kind of like the pop of color and, you know, how it contrasts with this bluish hue. And then yeah, with the black pants, you know, just going with a little bit of a match to the t-shirt, and then black boots. Again, you know, you can just play with color a lot, even the color blocking. This is kind of, you know, monochromatic in the, you know, build, and then I put the one layer of color on top and then a little pop in the graphic. But really, you could just keep it more simple with, like, you know, traditional color blocking, if you will, where, you know, kind of each component has a distinctive color to it and, you know, varies in lightness and darkness. Hat as well is optional. This is a pretty cool hat from Puppet Theater. It's a brand based in Denver, so, you know, just had to rep them a little bit. I don't wear hats too often though, so like I said, you know, it's really up to you what you are comfortable wearing. Of course, now these are my outfits, but I want you to take it as inspiration and, you know, make it work for your wardrobe. You know, you don't have to feel like, oh, I gotta go out and buy more clothes. Really, I think the key of all the clothes I have is to be able to put them together in a way that, you know, just feels cohesive and feels like I don't have to go out and buy more stuff. And, you know, still gives me a lot of variation in how I mix and match. And then yeah, boots as well, very simple, also from Mason Mind. I've had them for a couple years. You know, getting a good pair of boots will last you in the long run versus going out and buying like 4 pairs of cheaper ones. The, you know, same money equivalent, you could just have one better quality boot. And yeah, I think it's the only boot I have that's like a black leather boot. Let me get it zipped up for you real quick. Then as for how this kind of plays into Cedrat Boise from Mancera, you know, I think this look is again taking a slight elevated look onto streetwear clothing. And I think the identity of Cedrat Boise is kind of like that. Some people will take it in that line of Aventus. I think it's quite different, but, you know, Aventus would be kind of the same way where you can really dress it in so many manners. Maybe feels a little more, you know, on that kind of higher end-esque in terms of occasion, but I know a lot of people just like that as a daily, and I think Cedrat Boise is the same way. It's just a good place to start, but of course, you know, I'll show you more casual looks as well, just because that's the beauty of some fragrances. They're very versatile in how they come off. See, let's go to the next outfit. Again, this is the beauty with Mancera. You can be very versatile in the approach you take to your outfit with the fragrance. So, you know, this is a very classic, like, white t-shirt look. Again, maybe a little more baggy in the whole look, just because I think that works with my proportions more. But again, you know, color blocking is pretty simple. We have a white shirt from Uniqlo, you know, the Airism shirts that they're really well known for. Again, slightly oversized. More jeans from Mod 9. Again, this is my favorite brand, and I think I pretty much only have Mod 9 jeans, but, you know, pick your favorite jeans. The white looks good with like a lighter wash jean, but by all means, pick whatever jean color you like. Even dark denim looks really good with a white shirt too, so you can't go wrong. And then yeah, for my shoes, again, just white sneakers. There's so many different kinds of, varying price, varying quality. These are just kind of fun. They're from Anta. They're kind of in the Kyrie Irving line. He has his main basketball shoes, but he also has streetwear stuff too. And I just kind of like the shaping. They're super comfortable, kind of in line with like, yeah, the Adidas Sambas, or like, maybe even some Air Forces too. Doesn't look like them by all means, but kind of fits in that category of the same versatility. And yeah, just pairs very well with everything. I like that it's got a cream sole and cream laces, kind of breaks up just the white of the shoe. And then yeah, some simple jewelry. I have some bracelets, silver watch. I generally wear silver more, but I also love gold too. If you enjoy accessorizing, that can really add another level to your outfit. But again, I want you to do what is comfortable for you. You might just be starting in fashion, so everyone's level is a little different. Just, go with what is not too overwhelming for you. And, yeah, just experiment, get better day by day. See what works for you, what makes you feel good about yourself. Really, that's the most important thing. But yeah, I do love this outfit, and pairs nicely with Cedrat Boise, maybe on a hotter day, just a little more laid back. Yeah, can't go wrong with a fit like this. And then yeah, really to circle back to the point of, having different pieces that you can work with, I just kept the same jeans and switched the top and then back to some loafers. So with this fit, it's kind of the idea of matching some tones together. And in this case, them being a little cooler. This is slightly warmer for a gray, but gray generally is in that colder territory. So that goes really well with some black loafers. And then again, blue jeans just work with so many things. But yeah, I really like this outfit because the jeans are keeping the loafers a little more casual. And then you can really switch it up on how you want the tone of your sweater to come off too. But again, yeah, I really do like plain clothing. I like the pocket here, nice little accent, but it's not super loud, just looks good in a lot of occasions. This could be, yeah, a little more elevated, or yeah, just kind of chill as well. So this outfit kind of falls, I guess, in the middle of the two I showed you. And again, it's just kind of tailored to more of my closet and what I like to wear. But again, it's just a general idea to show you, these go well with Mancera Cedrat Boise. And there's just so many ways to utilize the same pieces you already have. So I hope you like all the outfits. Let's take it back to the couch. So there you are, 3 outfits from my wardrobe that would fit Cedrat Boise from Mancera very well. Again, just take this as inspiration. Just see how you can incorporate some of these ideas within your own wardrobe. You absolutely let me know down in the comments if there's an outfit you have in mind or one you've already worn. And of course, it doesn't even have to be with Cedrat Boise. I just want to, see what you guys like to wear out there. And it's kind of fun just pairing your fragrance with your outfits. It doesn't have to be anything too thought-provoking, but if you have a more special occasion, sometimes it is fun to think harder about it. But yeah, it really is just your own journey and, what you want to get out of it, essentially. So for the people that want a little more inspiration, I'm just happy to be here and give my input. I'm not really like a fashion expert. I'm not extremely into fashion culture, but I would say, I push more in that direction, generally speaking. But I'm not, I'm never gonna say I'm the expert on anything pretty much. Thanks again for sticking around, and yeah, again, let me know some of your favorite outfits or outfit pairings with the fragrance. I'm always curious, and I can absolutely learn from all of you too, so appreciate you. Take care, have a good one. I'll see you in another.